Welcome back to yet another episode of Before You Summon, and we have finally arrived at the biggest and most anticipated event of the year. We are at the 3rd anniversary of Project Sekai. So without further ado, this is Hello to a New Day that will run from September 30th to October 10th. Hello to a New Day is of course a limited mixed event in the cute attribute. And with this being the 3rd anniversary, this is one of the few mixed events that will have a commissioned song, the commissioned song being Neo. Neo is the first of the 12 songs that will be added in the 3rd anniversary song campaign, and it will be given to you through your mailbox on September 30th. Neo will release with 8 different versions of the song. There will be a virtual singer version sung by only Miku and an alternative virtual singer version sung by all virtual singers together. There will also be the standard Sekai version sung by Miku and the 5 unit leaders. On top of that, on the day the song launched, September 30th, 5 alternative vocals will be added for the song, 1 for each unit leader. So in other words, Ichika, Minori, Kohane, Tsukasa, and Kanade will all get separate alt vocal versions that you can pick up from the alt vocal shop. And this of course requires a standard alt vocal ticket for that character to pick them up. So make sure you have your alt vocal cards ready on September 30th if one of your favorite characters are covering Neo. As for the story, the focus character this time around is Ichika, with the supporting cast of Minori, Tsukasa, Kanade, and Kohane. And the event story synopsis reads as follows. Ichika and the others have finally become second-year students. Ichika is still not used to her moving up a year, but as she spent time with Miku, who wants to see how the opening ceremony goes, she begins to think today is a special day, so let's spend some time to ourselves. And of course, since this is a cheerful carnival, you will have to join one of 2 teams. The question this time around is which committee would you join when entering a new school year? And the 2 selections you have is the Broadcasting Committee and the Animal Care Committee. The team that won on the Japanese server was the Animal Care Committee, but as always, it is not certain that the Japanese team will win once again on the EN server, as we saw most recently with the Virtual Singer Limited event, where the English team was different than the Japanese team. And there is no way to predict which team will win on the EN server, so pick whichever team you feel the best about. And following the event story, there will of course be a virtual live that will run from October 10th to October 11th. Participating in the virtual live will grant you 300 crystal as is standard and a sticker. The sticker this time around is of Ichika and is called "Please Take Care of Me" from now on as well. And the item added to the virtual shop for customizing your virtual live avatar is another headpiece. The headpiece this time around is of a stack of Hatsune Miku CDs. But as always, if you want this headpiece to customize your virtual live avatar, you will need to pay either 3,000 virtual tokens or 1,000 crystals to unlock it from the virtual live avatar shop. Which leaves us with the event gacha that will be running alongside the event. Of course, because this is an anniversary event, there are several celebratory extra gachas that will be running alongside the event as well. Most of these celebratory gachas are paid as usual, and of course we will also get a login campaign with some free pulls attached. But for more information about these things, I would suggest either watching my September monthly showcase or my ultimate guide to the 3rd anniversary. Hello, Milk from the editing desk here. As of September 25th, we did get confirmation of which gachas will be arriving on the English server when it comes to the the limited paid gachas tied to the 3rd anniversary. 99% of all of the information I relayed for the Ultimate Guide still remains true, but I will put up a note here. During the September 25th livestream, Sega confirmed that the premium present unit costume gachas would only run until October 4th, like the Dream Pick gacha. This is the only type of paid gacha that got this treatment, as the limited pick list and the memory select voucher will still run to October 12th like they did on the Japanese server. I have no clue why it's only the unit costume gachas that got this treatment or what reasoning Sega has, but just know that the unit costume premium present paid gachas will only run until October 4th, unlike October 12th, which I mentioned in the Ultimate Guide. As for the actual event gacha, we will have 2 phases of this gacha because it is an anniversary event. The first phase of this gacha will run from September 30th to October 4th and is the 3rd anniversary Colorful Festival Dream Pick gacha. This gacha works slightly differently from all other Colorful Festivals. I go into a lot more depth in my Ultimate Guide, but the short summary of it is that during this gacha you will get 2 slots where you can pick any cards of the permanent variety up to the event step by step, or any Colorful Festival cards up until the 2nd anniversary Colorful Festival Miku and Luca to make rate up. And the 2 Colorful Festival cards added with 3rd anniversary is of course only available during this phase of the gacha. The first Colorful Festival exclusive card in the gacha is MEIKO with her card With That Name in My Heart. MEIKO is a life scorer skilled card with the skill name The One and Only Protagonist. Life Scorer skill cards will give you 5 seconds of 70% score bonus if your life is under 800, 100% score bonus if your life is exactly 800, and for every 10 more health you have over 800 you get 1% more score bonus up to a max of 120 score bonus for 5 seconds. And MEIKO, being a limited card, of course comes with a unique costume called My Way Style that has a hairstyle that is unlocked at Mastery Rank 2 with a unique accessory only wearable by MEIKO once she wears that hairstyle. The second card in the Colorful Festival portion of the gacha is KAITO with the card name A Song That Soothes Your Frustrations. KAITO, on the other hand, is a combo scorer skilled card with the skill name You, the One Who Fights, and Me, the One Who Sings. Combo scorer skill cards at skill level 1 will give 120 score bonus for 5 seconds. If you hit a good or lower though, your score bonus will be reduced to 70%. And KAITO's unique costume is called Serenity Style and does come with a unique hairstyle unlockable at Mastery Rank 2, and the unique accessory with this card can only be worn once you use that unique hairstyle. After October 4th, the Colorful Festival portion of the gacha will end and the 2 Colorful Festival exclusive cards will disappear from the gacha pool until the next Colorful Festival. Instead, the Colorful Festival gacha will be replaced with the standard limited event gacha after October 4th, and this gacha will run between October 4th and October 12th. Since we did not get a September Colorful Corner, the name of this gacha has not been announced yet, so I am going to put in a placeholder name here, being the Japanese translated name of this gacha, being Grow Up With Me. Because this is a special anniversary event, we have 4 available cards in this gacha, starting off with Ichika and her card, The Beginning of Something New.
今日からいろんなことが始まるんだね。
Ichika is a perfect locker skilled card with the skill name Footprints of Our Patience, and perfect locker skilled cards will make all bad and higher become perfect for 5.5 seconds and give a 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. Ichika's unique limited costume is called the Starlight and does come with a unique accessory only wearable once you unlock the hairstyle at Mastery Rank 2. The second card in the gacha is Minori with her card, Her Back That Makes Me Curious. Minori is a Healer's Guild card with the skill name as a student of the same school, and Healer's Guild cards will recover 350 life and grant a 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. Minori's unique costume is called the Flower Shower and comes with a unique accessory only wearable once she unlocks her hairstyle at Mastery rank 2. The third card in the gacha is Tsukasa with the card name An Unexpected Classmate. Tsukasa is also a Perfect Looker's Guild card, meaning that he shares the exact same talent text as Ichika and has the skill name My New Running Shoes. Tsukasa's unique costume is called the Spotlight and comes with a unique accessory only wearable once he unlocks his Mastery rank 2 hairstyle. The final card in the gacha is Kanade with her card name Opening Ceremony held in a classroom. Kanade is a Scorer's Guild card with the skill name A Song That Gives Me Energy. And Scorer's Guild cards will grant a 100% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. And the final unique costume is called the Gift Tray that comes with a unique accessory only wearable by Kanade once she unlocks her new hairstyle at Mastery rank 2. And that leaves us with the Exchange Shop card, and because this is an anniversary event with 4 characters in the gacha, this means that we will only get a single card in the Exchange Shop. The card this year is Kohane with her card Towards a New Morning. This card is of the Cool attribute and is a Perfect Looker's Guild card with the skill name Feelings That Grow Within. Her card will be available as normal once the event opened for the standard price of 15,000 tokens. And that is a short recap of all the general information about the event Hello to a New Day. If you want a more detailed explanation about things such as the 3rd anniversary song campaign or the celebratory paid gachas, I would highly request that you go watch my ultimate guide where I go into great detail about all of these different aspects of the 3rd anniversary. The video might seem daunting with its runtime of 1.5 hours, but within the video there are chapters, so you can jump to whichever point you wanna know more about. I will also leave some more direct links with timestamps to certain aspects of the 3rd anniversary ultimate guide that you might wanna look into, such as the paid gachas and the 3rd anniversary song campaign. But if you're already ready with all the information you need, let's head into the event team building instead. Of course, all 4 of the new gacha cards will grant the standard 70% event bonus, but if you don't get all 4 of them or you're not planning to summon from the gacha, what alternatives do you have with a 50% bonus? As always, we are starting with our main character being Ichika this time around, and she has 5 available cards with a 50% bonus. This includes her 2-star card from the event Unnamed Harmony, her 3-star card from the event Unwavering Feelings Now Put Into Word, and 3 4-star card, 1 limited, 2 permanent. Ichika's limited card comes from the event The Warmth of Intersecting Melodies, while her permanent 4-stars come from the release celebration gacha and from the event No Seek, No Find. Our second gacha character, Minori, on the other hand, only has 3 available cards, including her 3-star card from the release celebration gacha and 2 permanent 4-star cards. Minori's first permanent 4-star comes from the event Let's Restart From Here, while her second permanent 4-star comes from the event From Dear Me to My Past Self. Our third gacha character, Tsukasa, has 4 available cards, and this includes his Release Celebration Gacha 2-star card and 2 permanent 4-stars. His first permanent 4-star comes from the event At the Stage of Dazzling Lights, while his second one comes from the event Towards the Phoenix at the Sky's Edge. And as a bonus, Tsukasa also has a happy birthday card available with a 50% bonus, being his happy birthday card from the second year. As for our final gacha character, Kanade, just like Minori, only has 3 available cards. This includes her 2-star card from the release of the game, just like Tsukasa, and 2 permanent 4-star cards, though one has an asterisk. The first permanent 4-star card to release for Kanade comes from the event What Lies Behind, What Lies Ahead, which is a limited event. This was before all 3 cards in a limited gacha had costumes, meaning that Kanade is considered a permanent card, but she has only ever been rated up in limited gachas. Meanwhile, Kanade's second 4-star is a standard permanent card and comes from the event And Now I Tie This Ribbon. And of course, the final character available is Kohane, and she has 5 available cards with a 50% bonus. This includes her 2-star card from the event Same Dreams, Same Colors, her 3-star card from the event Find a Way Out, and 3 4-star cards, 1 limited, 2 permanent. Her limited card comes from the event Beyond Prayers, The Tomorrow We Wish For Is. While her 2 permanent 4-stars comes from the event Awakening Beat, and the second one was released with the event Power of Unity. Of course, we do have an asterisk for this event, as there is no virtual singer part of the event roster. This means that there are no cards with a 40% bonus for this event, making this our final selection of cards with a 50% bonus. And of course, since we had a pretty decent selection for our last event, this event has to be absolutely awful. The fact that this event only has 3 characters in the 3-star slot, and we almost didn't cover all 5 characters with 2 stars and 3 stars combined, is actually pretty hilariously bad. And the 4-star card selection doesn't actually help much for this event, with 3 characters out of 12 available cards being semi-limited. The Kanade is technically not limited, but she was only available as a rate-up character during a limited gacha, and then she's kind of been stuck in this limbo that is the permanent gacha pool. At least 4 out of the 12 available cards is what I would consider semi-recent card or even new cards. While the Hidden Circus gacha is almost 6 months away at this point, I still feel like that's a rather recent card when it comes to how often people can summon, and summon a lot, especially in Project Sekai. That means that we have 5 permanent cards that are considered old, at least, that people have had a lot of time to roll on, and I would only consider 3 of those actually very old permanent cards that have been in the pool for a very long time. This event team building is actually quite cruel towards new players, as there isn't really a good event team to build if you don't have 4 stars to at least fill out the slots for Kanade and Tsukasa. And I do find it kinda weird that it isn't more of a solid selection when it comes to the event team building, when it's clear that 3rd anniversary is a way to get new players into the game and bolster the player base. Of course, you could argue that the 3rd anniversary gacha is such great value and you could pick up a few members from that and grant the 70% bonus, but I still think that a little bit more of a friendly 3rd anniversary roster would have been good for new players getting in. Still, I can't really say much more than this selection is pretty damn awful, especially seeing that it is a mixed event and we can't really slot in any virtual singers with 40%, but usually the virtual singers are even bigger of a problem, so maybe it's for the best. As always, I could ramble on all day about how negative the event team building is or how it could be improved, but that's not really what we're here for. So instead, let's move on to the future usability of the gacha cards if you do decide to summon from the 3rd anniversary Colorful Festival. And because there is a colorful festival tied to the 3rd anniversary, I will also talk about the future usability of the KAITO and MEIKO Colorful Festival exclusive cards. And KAITO and MEIKO are considered unitless or blank virtual singer cards, meaning that they will grant a 40% bonus for most events until June 2025. In the June 2024 update for the JP server, which will release in June 2025 for us on EN, there was a change to how the unitless or blank virtual singers work. With the Bloom Festival, the unitless or blank virtual singers were adjusted to give a base 50% bonus if they cover the correct attribute and the correct character, just like a unit virtual singer would. But getting into the future usability, MEIKO is a mysterious card, meaning that she will see use in 3 different events. The first event MEIKO sees use in with a 40% bonus is a story where you are the star that will run from the 22nd of November to the 28th of November. A story where you are the star is a Wonderland Showtime unit-focused event having Tsukasa, Rui, and MEIKO in the gacha. This does mean that MEIKO is available with a 70% bonus during this event, which does lower her gameplay value quite substantially, seeing as she is a 40% card as it currently stands. After this, MEIKO sees use in the event next to the Unchanging Warmth that will run from the 31st of December to the 7th of January 2025. This is of course the New Year's event for this year and is a mixed event, and in the gacha for this event is MEIKO, Shiho, and Mizuki, meaning that once again MEIKO is available with a 70% bonus if you do decide to summon from both this gacha and the Next to the Unchanging Warmth gacha. So there are 2 mysterious MEIKOs coming up, but these are unit-focused MEIKOs, the first one being a Wonderland Showtime one, and the one from the Next to the Unchanging Warmth event is a Leonid MEIKO. The perk with the MEIKO we see during 3rd anniversary, despite her being lower gameplay value for these 2 events, is that she is blank/unitless. That means again that she sees use during every single unit event in the mysterious attribute, even if you don't have another MEIKO or another virtual singer to fill in that slot, because she's still a 40% card. But MEIKO sees use one more time during the event over Rad Squad that will run from the 30th of June to the 7th of July. And this is the first event where blank and unitless cards give the 50% bonus as a standard instead of the 40% bonus we have come to grown used to. This means that during this event, MEIKO will be a 50% bonus card despite her being a unitless card. Over Rad Squad is a Vivid Bad Squad unit-focused event with Kohane, Akito, and Vivid Bad Squad Miku in the gacha, meaning that MEIKO will only ever be available with a 50% bonus, meaning that the 3rd anniversary Colorful Festival card is of higher gameplay value for this event. So the 3rd anniversary Colorful Festival exclusive MEIKO does see some solid use, even if she is a 70% card during 2 out of the 3 events. Because of her blank status, the MEIKO is very useful if you're going to summon from the 3rd anniversary either way, but you aren't planning to summon from any one of the 3 future events that she sees use in. And this different aspect of the unitless cards of course also carries over to the KAITO that joins MEIKO in the Colorful Festival exclusive slots for the 3rd anniversary. KAITO is a cute attribute card and sees use during 3 different events just like MEIKO, the first one being Burn My Soul. Burn My Soul will run from October 12th to October 20th and is our first event after the 3rd anniversary concludes. This is a Vivid Bad Squad focused event with Kohane, Akito, and Luca in the gacha, meaning that KAITO is only ever available with a 50% bonus. This does of course mean that KAITO is only ever available with a 50% bonus during this event, making the Colorful Festival exclusive card a very solid option if you cannot fill the entire roster with 50% cards. After this, KAITO sees use during the event Perspective 4 Smile that will run from the 23rd of May to the 29th of May 2025. Perspective 4 Smile is a Wonderland Showtime focused event in the cute attribute and includes Emu, Tsukasa, and Wonderland Showtime Len as the focus characters. And this does of course mean that KAITO is only ever available with a 50% bonus, meaning that his Colorful Festival exclusive card does have higher gameplay value for this event as well if you cannot fill out the entire roster with 50% cards. Finally, the last event KAITO will see use in is Chasing My Ideal Idol, that will run from the 31st of July to the 7th of August 2025. This is of course after the Bloom Festival update has happened, meaning that KAITO is now an official 50% card for this event. And in the gacha for Chasing My Ideal Idol is Airi, Shizuku, and Haruka, meaning that KAITO once again is only available with a 50% bonus for this event, whatever you do. This makes the Colorful Festival exclusive card a much higher gameplay card, especially seeing as he has now become a 50% bonus card baseline. But this only covers the 2 Colorful Festival exclusive cards. The question still remains, does any of the event focus cards see future usability as far as we can currently see? And sadly, this time around, the future usability does not look that bright. Out of the 4 gacha focus cards for this event, only 2 have seen any future usability. Both Ichika and Kanade has yet to see any future usability, as they have not been in any cute attribute mixed events, and there has not been any cute attribute unit focused events for Leonid or Nightcore 25. It is worth pointing out though that the final cute attribute unit focused event for Leonid was Little Braver in January of last year on the Japanese server. And for Nightcore 25 it was And Now I Tie This Ribbon in August of 2022, meaning that Leonid and Nightcore 25 are really due for a cute attribute unit focused event in the near future. So it's not impossible that Ichika or Kanade will see use in the near future through unit focused events of the cute attribute, but then again they could just as well be 70% bonus cards during these events. As for the 2 cards who actually see future usability as far as we can currently see on the Japanese server, both Minori and Tsukasa only sees use during a single event. And we have already mentioned both of these events, as Tsukasa sees use during Perspective for Smile and Minori sees use during Chasing My Ideal Idol. And Minori will of course be a 50% card during Chasing My Ideal Idol, as it was Airi, Shizuku, and Haruka as the focus characters during this event, and for Perspective for Smile, Tsukasa will be available with a 70% bonus, as it is Tsukasa, Emu, and Len in said gacha. So while Minori will have higher gameplay value for her event, Tsukasa will have lower gameplay value for his event. And there isn't really a lot more to say about this, as we already covered a lot of the usability talk with KAITO and MEIKO. If you are going to summon from Perspective for a Smile, of course the 3rd anniversary Tsukasa is lower gameplay value, as you will replace him with the Perspective for a Smile Tsukasa if you get him during that event, since that Tsukasa will be of 70%. But if you're going for 3rd anniversary and you're not summoning for Perspective for Smile, both the Minori and the Tsukasa are super solid options, as both Tsukasa and Minori had really poor selections for the cute attribute. So it's really just a case of, I don't think that the poor future usability of Tsukasa and Minori and the lack of future usability for Kanade and Ichika should dissuade you from picking up the 3rd anniversary cards. Ichika, Kanade, Minori, and Tsukasa all had pretty poor selections when it came to cute cards, so getting alternatives both for the 3rd anniversary to make your event team building better during the event that is going to be highly competitive, as well as making sure you have cute options in the future, is not a really bad idea. Still, I have to put it out as it currently looks, and Ichika and Kanade have very low value as they do not see future use. Tsukasa on the other hand has lower gameplay value, as he sees use during an event where he is available to be picked up with a 70% bonus, and Minori is higher gameplay value as she had low options available and also isn't available during her future usability gacha. But still, this is a nuanced topic that needs to be looked at from several different angles, and you cannot just go on the statistical, there is a 70% bonus card available and therefore this card is worse. Still, that is enough yapping about the cute cards. Just know that Ichika and Kanade might actually see use pretty soon, seeing as there hasn't been a cute event for their units in a really long time, and Minori and Tsukasa are actually quite useful despite not being the most useful. And we can't forget our exchange shop card, with Kohane seeing use in a single event. Kohane sees use during the event Whip the Wimp Girl that will run from the 30th of April to the 7th of May and has Kohane, Anne and Toya in the gacha. This does mean that Kohane is available with a 70% bonus during this event, which means that the exchange shop card is of lower gameplay value. But once again, Kohane is an exchange shop card. An exchange shop card should always be picked up, as they are a great alternative if you do not get the character from the original gacha, or you're not planning to summon from the gacha and do not have a character that covers said attribute and character combination. So make sure to not forget the exchange shop Kohane, as she is a great way to cover the cool attribute for Kohane and give you some character ranks and crystals for your efforts. But with that, we have covered all the future usability of the 7 available event characters in the 3rd anniversary. So instead, let's look at what new limited costumes you can expect for these characters and what reruns are upcoming for them as well. The first character to get a new limited costume following 3rd anniversary is Minori during the event next to the Unchanging Warmth that we mentioned during the future usability already. Next to the Unchanging Warmth will run from the 31st of December to the 7th of January 2025, and in the event gacha is MEIKO, Shiho and Mizuki. But this event is also tied to another colorful festival. The 2 colorful festival cards for this event is Minori and Shizuku, and they will only be available until January 4th, when the colorful festival disappears. This is followed by costumes for both Ichika and Kanade during the event Relax Tea Time that will run from the 28th of February to the 6th of March 2025. This is the 3rd-year White Day event with Mafyu, Ichika and Kanade as the gacha characters. After this, we will see a costume for Tsukasa during the event Rise as One. Rise as One is also known as the 3.5 anniversary and will run from the 30th of March to the 8th of April. In the event gacha for Rise as One is KAITO, Akito and Honami, but of course, seeing as this is an anniversary event, there is a colorful festival tied to the event. The 3 colorful festival exclusive cards for this event is Emu, Tsukasa and Saki, and they will only be available until April 4th, when the colorful festival disappears. After that, Minori will get another costume during the event Wedding Live with Everyone that will run from the 31st of May to the 8th of June. And in this event gacha is Minori, Nene and Luca. The final character to get a new costume is MEIKO during the event Over Rad Squad. Over Rad Squad is the first ever event that is tied to a Bloom Festival gacha, the gacha type that is replacing Colorful Festival after the 3.5 anniversary. The Over Rad Squad event will run from the 30th of June to the 7th of July and includes Akito, Kohane and Miku in the actual gacha, while the 2 Bloom Festival exclusive cards is MEIKO and Kanade, who will only be available to July 4th. So the selection for costumes for Minori, Tsukasa, Kanade and Ichika isn't that amazing, but what about the rerunning gachas? And once again, I want to remind everyone that any gacha will only get 2 reruns before they are discontinued and join the Recollection Festival instead. This means that from November going forward, several gachas are going to be fully discontinued and never return again. I will state any final rerun date that we have available to us that cover these characters to make it clear, but if you want more information about the Recollection Festival, I once again suggest that you go watch my full-length video about the subject. Speedrunning through these, we have Spooky Wolf Forest, which has its first rerun in November and its second and final rerun already confirmed for August 2025. This is followed by the final rerun for the event Yearning for Spring, A Moment in the Night, that will also have its final rerun in November. Scramble Flower, also known as First Anniversary, will have its final rerun in December. This is alongside Flight to the Future, which will have its first rerun in December with its second rerun not yet confirmed. Lion Dance will have its first rerun in January with its final rerun already confirmed for August 2025. In February, we will see the first rerun for Sweet Cute Valentine and the final rerun for both Knights of White and Graceful Marriage. Sweet Cute Valentine also has its final rerun date already confirmed for September 2025. This is followed by the first rerun of Imperial Soldier, which also has its final rerun in September of 2025. After that, we will see the final rerun of The Naive Voice That Cries Out to You, followed by the final rerun of the Sporty Girl Gacha in May. In June, we will see the first rerun for the Eternal Bells, which does not have its second and final rerun yet confirmed, and we will also see the final rerun for the Gacha Before the Storm. And capping our reruns off, we have Unmissable Spirited Affair having its first rerun in July with no second rerun yet confirmed. So there's a pretty great selection for rerunning gachas with limited cards for these 6 gacha focus cards that we see during 3rd anniversary. But do remember that some of these are having their final reruns coming up, so if you really love any of these cards that have their final rerun set in stone, you should really consider if you're going to summon from that gacha. But once again, if you want more information about that topic, you should watch my Recollection Festival video. But that covers all of the new limited cards you should keep your eyes out for, and the rerun dates of all the limited gachas, including the 6 gacha characters for 3rd anniversary. So with that, we can arrive at the final question. Should you summon from the 3rd anniversary Colorful Festival gacha, and should you participate in the event Hello to a New Day? And of course, the answer stays the same as it always does. Yes, you should summon from the Colorful Festival gacha if you want the cards, and you should definitely participate in the event, even more so than usual, seeing as this is the 3rd anniversary, which is a huge celebration for Project Sekai. But of course, there are some things we can consider if you're still on the fence if you are going to summon from the 3rd anniversary gacha or not. I do think 100% that if you are going to summon from the 3rd anniversary gacha, you should only summon from the Colorful Festival portion of this gacha and ignore the event gacha itself entirely if you're not scrambling for gems to make a spark. This is because there's such a massive value difference between the Colorful Festival Dream Pick portion and the standard limited event gacha. And this includes even if you only want the focus characters for the event, not caring about MEIKO or KAITO at all. The 6% rate for a 4-star is actually stronger than the 2 extra cards in the pool, and the Dream Pick portion of the gacha is actually pretty great. I do also think that the card selection is actually pretty great, despite them not seeing a lot of future usability. Of course, the unitless KAITO and MEIKO are super useful and often have a lot of versatility outside of the events even we talked about. Though the MEIKO is a double-edged sword, as she shares the same attribute as her 7 Deadly Sin counterpart, meaning she's less value if you do have the 7 Deadly Sins Conchita card, and she's a lot more value if you fail to pick that card up. And it's also worth noting that all 4 of the event-focused characters have very poor selections when it comes to 4-star cute cards. This means that despite the currently lacking future usability the Kanade, Ichika and Tsukasa sees, we will still have a lot of use for them when they well do see use. The only way Leonid and Naiko 25 would not see any more cute attribute events would be if we get new units entirely with 4th anniversary or say 5th anniversary. But if that happens, summoning for any of our current characters would be a waste, as they will only see use for 1 more year and then they disappear, meaning that we should all just collectively save for the new units. I also think that this is a very beautiful set when it comes to the cards, even if I think that the costumes and hairstyles are a bit on the weaker side towards how good the card art actually is. It's always tough for me to argue about these things because I have my own opinions that will color my perception of these cards. This time around I'm actually pretty torn, as I think that the cards are super great, but the costumes and hairstyles, which is half of the selling point of a limited card, are actually very weak, but at the same time these cards are super useful, seeing how limited the roster is for Tsukasa, Ichika, Kanade and Minori. I also have a huge bias towards colorful festivals, as I think that they are a lot more value and a lot kinder towards players than standard limited events are. I also have a huge bias towards the unitless virtual singer cards, as I find them very interesting and often very cool to have. But at the end of the day, if you love this set, or if you really want this set, you should pull for it if you have the funds available. And one of the strongest counter arguments I can see towards this gacha is the fact that several of the more anticipated limited events are getting their final reruns upcoming very soon. But you should always pick the gacha you really want the most, and if you feel like you can skip the gachas that are having their final rerun, you should not pull for them just because of the FOMO that Sega is trying to utilize. I really do think that 3rd Anniversary Colorful Festival is one of the most solid gachas you can pull from, and I really think that if you love these cards, you should not feel swayed by any reason to not pull from it. But with that, I have once again rambled far too much about the 3rd anniversary and the event Hello to a New Day, so down in the comments, please tell me your opinions. I do read every single comment, even if I do not respond to every single one, and I always love hearing your thoughts and opinions on any single event or happening in Project Sekai. And if you made it to the end of this massive video where I rambled on about the 3rd anniversary once again for far too long, I wanna thank you from the bottom of my heart and request that you subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already. And while you're down then, make sure to like the video and share it with a friend, as all of these different things help me reach further into the algorithm. But once again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and this is to another great year of Project Sekai. I will not keep you here any longer. Let's get out of here for the week.